And amongst the larger banks, since we're talking on the topic of banks, amongst the larger banks to blink first or essentially pass on the benefit of a rate cut to the consumers, State Bank of India has done that. It has cut its base rate to 9.7 from 9.85 effective 8th of June. Gopika caught up with Arundhati Bhattacharya and started by asking her about the impact that the rate cut will have on the bank margins. And are we getting too anxious about the monsoon as well?
The margins this time, if you saw it, it was at 3.54, but we expect to be able to hold the margins at 3.5. Now, the reason we believe this will happen is because we've seen a large amount of growth in the investment book last year on account of very little credit demand. This time we are beginning to see credit demand come back. This is only the very slow season. As you know, the first quarter is always very slow. But whatever proposals are coming, they are proposals for enhancements. We are also getting some new projects. So overall, we are quite optimistic that this time the credit growth will go up. And if that happens and I'm able to allocate more funds to the loan book rather than the investment book, then that should help me to still maintain margins even though we have cut base rates.
But how much more headroom do you have? That's the question. Even Governor has pointed out that he will wait for banks to pass on the sequence of rate cuts before he takes a final view on cutting rates further. So how much more headroom do you have?
Now, if you just consider when was the repo rates at 7.25? The repo rates were at 7.25 in May of 2013. At that point of time, our base rates were 9.7, which is precisely what it is today. Actually, what had happened was that the RBI had raised repo rates by 75 basis points. We, in our turn, raised base rates only by 30 basis points.
Okay. So banks have cut base rates. What will that do to consumer stocks, and what will that really do to the economy at large, and especially the corporate side of the banks? So that really is my talking point, and I'll throw that point to Tirthankar Patnaik, India strategist with Reserve Bank. Tirthankar, fantastic to have you back, and thank you for joining us.